Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to tell you a story. It's a story that begins in the quiet of a church, a place meant to offer safety, solace, and peace. But for one young woman, that peace was shattered. Her name was Uwa Omozuwa. Uwa was just 22 years old, a first-year student at the University of Benin. She was full of promise, brimming with dreams of a better life. For her, education was the key to unlocking a brighter future. And even during the pandemic lockdown, she refused to let her ambitions dim. Every day, Uwa would walk to the Redeemed Christian Church of God parish near her home. The church had become her study hall, a sanctuary where she could focus away from the chaos of the world outside. On May 27, 2020, she went there again, but this time she didn't come back. The church was quiet that evening, too quiet. Uwa sat near the altar, her notebook open, her pen crashing across the page as she poured herself into her studies. But in the shadows, someone was watching. No, not someone. Some men. They had been waiting, lurking just beyond the door. They knew her routine. They knew she'd be alone, and they struck. The attack was brutal. A hand clamped over her mouth before she could scream. Uwa fought. She kicked, clawed, and struggled with every ounce of strength she had, but the men were relentless. Then came the fire extinguisher. The first blow landed with a singing thud. Uwa's vision blurred as the pain radiated through her body. They struck again and again, shattering her strength, her will, her hope. When they were done, they left her there, bleeding, broken, half naked on the cold floor of the church. When the night guard arrived a little after 7 p.m., he found her lying in a pool of blood. The fire extinguisher, now a weapon of death, sat discarded beside her. He screamed, but Uwa couldn't hear him. Word of Uwa's murder spread like wildfire. Her story horrified the nation. People couldn't comprehend how something so vile could happen in a church. Social media erupted with the hashtag Justice for Uwa and We Are Tired. Nigerians demanded answers. Amnesty International condemned the crime, calling it a failure of law enforcement and the reflection of a society where rapists often walk free. The Edo State government promised action. Investigations began. Arrests were made. It seemed for a moment that justice might be within reach. 6 suspects were arrested. Among them, Collins Ulegbe confessed to striking Uwa with the fire extinguisher. Another, Maria Day, was accused of masterminding the attack for ritual purposes, offering the gang 1 million naira to carry out this crime. 1 million naira for a human life. But as the investigations dragged on, cracks began to appear, confessions were contradicted, court hearings were delayed, excuses piled up. Nearly a year later, Uwa's family still waits for justice. They sit through endless court hearings only to hear the case is adjourned. Her sister, clutching a photograph of Uwa, speaks softly. We just want justice. We just want to know our death wasn't in vain. But what does it say about us, about our society, that a young woman can be raped and murdered in a church and that killers still walk free? What does it say about us that our family is left with nothing but delays, excuses, and an empty promise of justice? Uwa's name became a rallying cry, a symbol of everything that must change. Her story sparked outrage, but outrage is not enough. Hashtags are not enough. Justice is what she deserves. In her family's home, Uwa's books remain untouched. Her blood-stained notebook still sits where it was left. Her last was scrawled hurriedly in his margins. This is only the beginning. The beginning of what? This is the question we must answer. Will our story be the beginning of real change, or will it simply fade like so many others into the void of forgotten tragedies? Because Uwa's life mattered, her dreams mattered, and her story, it must not end here, even years later. For a continuation of this story, please like and subscribe, share.